My beloved child, many say they believe in me, yet live as though time is endless and tomorrow is guaranteed. They plan their lives with confidence, but rarely examine their hearts with the same seriousness. I am not troubled by your questions or your uncertainties. What concerns me is when the heart grows comfortable in delay, when awareness fades into routine. Faith was never meant to be passive. It was meant to be alive, alert, and responsive. You were not created to drift through life spiritually asleep, yet that is what happens when comfort replaces conviction, when days blur together, when prayer becomes occasional instead of essential, when my words are remembered but not lived. This does not happen suddenly. It happens quietly, slowly, almost gently, and that is why so many do not notice it. They do not reject me, they simply stop paying attention. I watch how easily the world trains your eyes to look outward but never inward. You are taught to measure success by achievement, happiness by comfort, and peace by silence. But true peace is not the absence of struggle. True peace is knowing where you stand when the struggle arrives. Readiness is not about knowing every answer. It is about knowing where your trust rests when answers are missing. There were moments in your life when you felt my presence strongly, times when your prayers felt alive and your faith felt steady. And then there were seasons when everything felt distant, when my voice seemed quieter and your heart felt heavier. Do not misunderstand those seasons. Distance is not always separation. Silence is not always absence. Sometimes I grow quiet so you can learn to listen differently. I do not speak only through emotion. I speak through obedience, through conviction, through the stillness you avoid because it forces you to face what you've been carrying. Many ask me to change their circumstances, but few allow me to change their inner posture. You want answers before surrender. You want clarity before trust, but readiness is born when you trust me even without clarity. Look at how the people before you lived. Noah was not surrounded by understanding or support. He was surrounded by mockery, yet he listened. Lot lived among corruption that slowly tried to dull his sensitivity, yet his soul remained troubled by what surrounded him. The prophets spoke when it was unpopular to speak. None of them were comfortable. None of them were celebrated, but they were awake. Being awake does not mean living in fear. It means living aware. Aware of what influences your heart. Aware of what dulls your conscience. Aware of how easily love can grow cold when it is not protected. The world will always offer substitutes for truth, louder voices, easier paths, comfortable explanations, but truth rarely arrives wrapped in comfort. It arrives with weight. You were never meant to blend in spiritually. You were meant to stand firm inwardly. Yet standing firm does not always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks like choosing integrity when no one is watching, choosing forgiveness when resentment feels justified, choosing prayer when distraction feels easier. These are not small choices. These are the very places where readiness is formed. I see how often you evaluate yourself based on comparison. You look at others and wonder if you are doing enough, believing enough, living enough. Stop measuring your faith against people. Measure it by your willingness to obey me when obedience costs you something. Faith that costs nothing changes nothing, but faith that stretches you shapes you. There will always be voices that tell you to relax spiritually, to stop taking things so seriously, to focus only on the present moment. But I call you to live present while remaining watchful. Not anxious, watchful, not fearful, alert. The difference matters. Anxiety paralyzes, awareness prepares. I do not want you panicked, I want you grounded. Readiness is not about perfection, it is about alignment. When your values match your prayers, when your actions reflect what you say you believe, when repentance is not something you fear, but something you embrace because it keeps your heart clean and responsive. A soft heart is not a weak heart, it is a sensitive one, and sensitivity is strength in my kingdom. Do not wait for a dramatic moment to awaken you. Do not assume there will always be another reminder, another warning, another opportunity. Today matters more than you realize. How you live quietly shapes how you will stand boldly later. Preparation is rarely exciting, but it is always necessary. I am patient with you, more patient than you are with yourself. I am not looking for reasons to push you away. I am drawing you closer, gently but intentionally. This stirring you feel is not condemnation, it is invitation, an invitation to examine, to realign, to wake up deeper than before. Stay attentive, guard what influences your heart, protect your love for truth. Do not let familiarity dull reverence. Do not let delay weaken expectation. There is more unfolding than you can see right now, and awareness will matter more than comfort as time moves forward.
Because the days ahead will test what you truly value, not what you claim to believe. Pressure has a way of revealing foundations. When comfort is shaken, what remains is what was real all along. I am less concerned with how loudly you speak about faith and more attentive to how faithfully you live when no one applauds. The quiet decisions you make now are shaping how you will stand later. You must understand this clearly. Readiness is formed long before urgency is felt. By the time moments feel critical, the heart has already chosen its direction. That is why I speak to you now, while life still feels manageable, while routines still hold, while choices still appear small. Nothing about this is accidental. I speak early because I love deeply. Many confuse patience with permission. They assume that because consequences do not come immediately, alignment is optional. But patience is not approval. It is mercy creating space for change, space to return, space to listen, space to realign what has slowly drifted. I am not counting how often you stumble. I am watching how willing you are to turn back when you do. There is a subtle danger in becoming familiar with spiritual language while remaining distant in spirit. Words can be repeated while the heart remains untouched. Songs can be sung while surrender is withheld. This is how routine replaces reverence. You were never meant to simply know about me. You were meant to walk with me. Relationship cannot survive on memory alone. It requires presence. I see how easily distraction steals your attention, not always through obvious temptation, but through constant noise, endless opinions, endless urgency, endless comparison. The soul grows tired when it is never allowed to rest in truth. Silence makes you uncomfortable because silence removes excuses. In stillness, what you avoid becomes visible. That is why stillness matters. Do not be afraid of examining your heart. I am not waiting to accuse you. I am inviting you to heal. Conviction is not condemnation. It is guidance. It shows you where adjustment is needed before damage is done. When you feel that inner stirring, do not suppress it. That is awareness awakening, not peace leaving. Look carefully at what you allow to shape your thinking. What you repeatedly consume eventually directs what you believe. What you repeatedly believe eventually directs how you live. Truth is not sustained by intention alone. It must be protected. Guarding your heart is not withdrawal from the world. It is discernment within it. You will notice that many prefer certainty over truth.
They want clear answers without personal cost. They want reassurance without repentance. But truth often asks something of you. It challenges motives. It disrupts comfort. It requires honesty where self-protection feels safer. This is why many resist it quietly rather than reject it openly. I am not calling you to isolate yourself or live in constant intensity. I am calling you to live awake. Awake to what feeds your soul. Awake to what dulls your sensitivity. Awake to how easily love grows cold when it is not nurtured. Love is not sustained by emotion alone. It is sustained by choice. You may feel at times that your faith is ordinary, unremarkable, unnoticed, but heaven does not measure significance the way the world does. Faithfulness in unseen places carries great weight. Endurance in private strengthens authority in public. What you practice when no one sees prepares you for moments when clarity matters most. Do not underestimate the power of daily obedience. It may not feel dramatic, but it is transformative. Obedience aligns your will with mine. It keeps your heart responsive instead of resistant. It trains your spirit to recognize truth quickly when deception appears subtle. I am aware of the tension you feel between living fully now and staying watchful. This tension is intentional. You were never meant to escape the present or fear the future. You were meant to live anchored. Anchored in truth, anchored in relationship, anchored in hope that is not shaken by delay. There will be voices that urge you to loosen conviction for acceptance, to soften truth for comfort, to postpone seriousness for convenience. Not every voice that sounds gentle is leading you toward life. Discernment is learned through closeness with me, not through volume of information. Stay rooted, stay teachable, stay aware. What is unfolding will require clarity, not panic, strength, not performance, depth, not noise. I am preparing hearts quietly before moments speak loudly. And awareness now will steady you when many around you are unsettled. Remain attentive, remain grounded, remain responsive. There is more ahead that will require a heart awake enough to recognize truth when it matters most, because recognition will not come through signs alone, but through intimacy. Many will look outward, searching for confirmation in events, voices, and movements, while missing what I am doing inwardly. The heart that stays close will sense what others overlook. Awareness sharpens discernment, and discernment is born from relationship, not speculation. You are learning that faith is not maintained by intensity, but by consistency. Moments of passion may inspire you, but daily surrender sustains you. I am not asking you to carry the weight of the future. I am asking you to remain faithful in the present. Each day you choose truth over convenience. You strengthen the foundation beneath you. There will be times when obedience feels slow and unnoticed, when the world seems to reward compromise more quickly than integrity. Do not mistake speed for progress. What grows quickly often lacks depth. What is rooted deeply may grow quietly, but it endures. I am far more interested in who you are becoming than how fast you appear to move.
You may wonder why clarity does not always come immediately. Understand this. Some truths are revealed only when the heart is ready to carry them without pride or fear. If I were to show everything at once, many would misunderstand the purpose. Knowledge without humility creates confusion.
That is why trust often precedes understanding. Pay attention to what unsettles you spiritually. Discomfort is not always negative. Sometimes it is a signal that something matters more than you realized. When your conscience feels stirred, do not silence it with distraction. Let it guide you closer. Sensitivity keeps the heart responsive. A heart that still feels is a heart that can still be shaped. I see the moments when you hesitate, unsure whether your obedience makes a difference. I assure you, nothing done in faith is wasted. Every quiet act of obedience leaves a mark. Every unseen prayer shapes the atmosphere around you. You are participating in something larger than you can measure right now. You are not required to have perfect understanding. You are required to remain faithful. Faithfulness keeps the connection open. It keeps communication clear. It keeps the heart aligned even when circumstances feel uncertain. This is how stability is formed long before pressure arrives. There will be seasons when truth feels heavier than comfort. In those moments, remember why you chose to follow me. Not because it was easy, but because it was real. Comfort fades, truth remains. The soul recognizes what is real even when the mind struggles to explain it. Be careful not to confuse stillness with stagnation. Even when it feels like nothing is changing, growth is taking place beneath the surface. Roots grow in hidden places. Strength develops quietly. You are being prepared in ways that are not yet visible, but will soon be necessary. I am teaching you to listen beyond noise, to recognize my voice not through urgency, but through alignment. When something draws you closer to humility, clarity, and truth, it carries my nature. When something breeds fear, pride, or division, pause and examine it carefully. Not everything that claims authority carries wisdom. Guard your expectations. Do not let disappointment harden your heart. Hope grounded in me does not fade with delay. It deepens. Waiting does not weaken faith when trust remains active. Waiting refines desire, strips illusion, and strengthens endurance. You may notice that fewer people are willing to sit with truth when it requires reflection. Many prefer distraction because distraction does not demand change, but change is where life is found. Transformation does not occur in haste, it unfolds through willingness. I am not distant from your questions, I am patient with your process. What matters is that you remain honest, open, and willing to grow. A questioning heart that stays surrendered is safer than a confident heart that refuses correction. Watch how you respond when correction comes quietly. Do you resist it or receive it? Do you justify yourself or allow yourself to be shaped? Growth is not proven by how much you know, but by how much you are willing to adjust. You are being invited into depth, not urgency, into clarity, not chaos, into awareness, not fear. This invitation will not shout, it will whisper, and only the attentive will recognize its value. Stay close, stay grounded, stay responsive. What lies ahead will not require panic, but perception, not reaction, but discernment. And the heart that has learned to listen now will recognize truth when it speaks softly later.
Follow appearances. Follow discernment. A steady heart sees more clearly than a hurried one, and clarity will matter when voices grow louder and paths grow more confusing. If at times you feel separate from the crowd, do not assume something is wrong. Narrow paths are rarely crowded. Depth has always been chosen by fewer. You are not losing connection. You are gaining focus, and focus sharpens vision. Let your faith remain lived, not displayed. Let your obedience be quiet and sincere. Let your repentance be quick and honest. Let your love remain guarded, because love that is neglected cools without notice. Protect it, feed it, keep it alive. I am not calling you to withdraw from life. I am calling you to walk through it awake, to engage without being consumed, to participate without being shaped by what dulls your spirit. You can live fully while remaining watchful. The two are not opposed. What you are sensing now is not an ending, it is an alignment, a settling of foundations, a strengthening beneath the surface. The fruit of this season will not appear immediately, but it will endure. Stay faithful in what seems small. Stay attentive in what feels ordinary. Stay surrendered even when clarity feels partial. This is how readiness is formed, not in dramatic moments, but in daily choices. And when the time comes for what has been quietly prepared to be revealed, there will be no confusion in your heart, no panic, only recognition, peace anchored in truth, confidence rooted in trust. Remain with me, remain awake, remain grounded. What is unfolding will require hearts that have learned to listen, to discern, and to stand without fear. And you are being shaped for that purpose even now.